All right, now that we're facing the downside here on BTC, it's important for us to take a look at the rest of the markets and see how they're reacting to this downside, right, guys? Because it's not particularly targeted towards Bitcoin. So yes, we are falling down back to the targets, the lows that we were just speaking of yesterday. So in fact, we actually just hit them at 81,386, just below that. So let's go ahead and take a look at your NASDAQ futures right now, guys, and take a look at this, right? So we are currently on a downfall here, right, guys? Now I want you to focus on the S&P 500 futures and also on a downfall, right? So now the hedge against markets like this, right, would be things like gold, right? So gold is here making some upside moves, and also things like natural gas, right? So nat gas futures are absolutely making a rip to the upside. So these are indications of a weak market, but I do have to show you something within the NQ that could indicate maybe a short-term bounce here before a continuation to the downside or some type of consolidation event. But we have to take a look first, right, guys? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and get this thing going here. NASDAQ futures. These were your natural gas futures right here, right, guys? So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ as I was just telling you, right? Let's kind of push this thing into the daily time frame and kind of scooch out just a little bit here and see what we have, right? So here we go. Let's scooch out. Yep. Okay, so this is the inflection that we're reaching here, right, guys? So the lows here and here, those are that of March 11th and March 13th. Of course, now we're sitting on March 31st, so just a little under a month since the last time we touched these targets. So what I'm saying here is that now that we opened up the new day, there could be the possibility of a short-term bounce here, and that could offer some type of opportunity on the longs to maybe skedaddle their positions or brace for something different, right? Because if there is an opportunity here to get an upside, it would be in spite of the of a pretty powerful area of support, because this support here kind of got down to 19,140. Now we're ripping all the way down, all the way up to 20,500, right? So that was a pretty big bounce here on the NQ, and seeing that Bitcoin is also kind of in an area that used here, right, for inflection. Right down at this point here, there was a big bounce from that area of 81,200 all the way up to 87. Not saying at all that we're going to use this area to get up that high. I'm just saying that there could be a little bit of a relief bounce here to kind of ease some tensions, right, guys? So if that is the case, then great. There is a possibility here that we can get back into either closing the gap of the day, which is 19,461, or we can jump up to the areas of near the 50% of your prior day. The reasons I'm saying this could also happen is because BTC is within the it's within the new weekly open now, guys, and this could be very clearly could be your peekaboo right below the prior bar, and then it'll get its 50% retrace before continuation. It did build it did print here a pretty bearish bar, but it's all good. And this is your this is your bi-weekly bar that also just opened, right? It's getting the peekaboo below. That's typical for price action to do. It's a little bit of a liquidity grab. Not going to say that it's not going to fail to the downside, because it doesn't always behave just like the equities do. But typically speaking, right, that would be BTC falling beneath this area here and then continuing towards the upside. XRP is very, very much in that same vicinity, right? Very much in that same area. These were the lows that we were just talking about yesterday and the day before yesterday for BTC, for XRP, sorry, as we came into them, right? We got a nice bounce in here. We absolutely rallied from 206 all the way to almost 222. And then we started retracing, guys. There is some news kind of circling around about, Iran stuff, and, if Trump doesn't strike a deal there, guys, there could be an oil run, right? We could be observing oil long, natural gas up. We're going to be noticing that gold is going to be up, bonds are going to be up, and the yield is probably going to go up too in the more immediate, right? So yeah, gotta watch out with what's coming in here, okay, guys? I wouldn't suggest any long-term positions for now. I would only suggest potentially scalping the markets, should you be able to do that, right, if you're experienced in doing something like that. But now more on this downside here. So if we do get the retrace on BTC bi-weekly, that could put you at around 85,030, right, guys? So 85,030 on a retrace here would actually be pretty damn fair, and that would introduce a nice opportunity for you to even, take some risk off here, maybe even get a short-term position here to acquire some more of your XRP on a short-term trade, right, for your long-term bags that you've been holding forever. Good little trade to the upside there, should you get that. Okay, so now it's about us figuring out the downside targets, guys. Now, if you're curious into understanding how to look at these levels and how to determine this, right, guys, I am actually down to 66 seats left from what I offered here, guys, and I promise I haven't done this before. A $100 offer for an 8-week mentorship program for charting and trading. Never done that before. It's like 90% off, right, guys? So make sure to hit that link on the top right, and we'll go ahead and do that, right, guys? So now, aside from that, of course, you can always look in the description below for the algorithms too. This is Alpha Light, still suggesting a sell signal here, right, guys? And also, I'm noticing that even within the Omega Light, you're going to notice that this is still on a daily sell signal. So we were observing the potentials of the earlier signals from the from yesterday, right, from the immediate short term, and that unfortunately did not have enough thrust to get the buy signals that we wanted to start inverting the bear phase active here from the Omega Light. So in fact, it maintained the bear phase active on daily and never changed its mind. It's kind of like it knew it was going to continue to the downside. Very, very interesting indeed. Okay, guys, now next thing here to tell you about the downside, right, guys? So if we do fail, right, if we fail this area here of 206.08 with a nice conversion from the support into resistance, that means that we could use a couple formations here, okay, guys? Number one, there is an acting head and shoulders formation that can lead you towards a target right down here, which would be $1.97. And presently speaking, we are within a dead cat bounce at this area here. Now, if that dead cat bounce works out, the bottom side target for that dead cat is 193.10, which is very interesting that we're getting some of these targets here, right? Because those targets are very much along the lines of all of these inflection points down here. So naturally speaking, I have to go ahead and kind of favor those, inflection points here in spite of the psychological targets that were being suggested from your immediate short-term formations, right, guys? So yes, crayon books, coloring books, right? I know you guys like them. Other than that, yes, it's still kind of presenting that this downside. Let me go ahead and put these receipts on there should it be that you need them for the play, right? You can always refer back to this, take screenshots of this stuff. We're expecting a potential downside move into this area here, maybe after a short-term bounce. Could it be that we're going to create some type of a W in here? Maybe. That W could also work as a double top though, okay? So make sure to be ultimately careful around what's happening in the immediate short-term time frame, guys. But okay, now let's look at volatility and momentum, right? So volatility versus momentum. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. All right, 15-minute time frame certainly showing a downside here, right? Let's go down even more granular here. All right, the 5-minute time frame is indicating an upside, and it is pretty contractive at that, so it doesn't show too much strength, right? But it is showing an immediate short-term small opportunity here. This is your rising wedge. So this could be in preparation here for a little bit of an upside pump. New 5-minute bar just opened right now, right? Just about 34 seconds ago, right? So if we get that upside continuation based on a 5-minute bar, that's you're not going to get too much price out of this. It'll be like a 209, just a little slightly over 209. There's this resistance in here, right, guys? So that would indicate resistance. So now, should it cascade? Should we have upside continuing into the 10-minute time frame? Well, that's going to be determined here in about 4 minutes, and that can actually shift price action to then reach a new high, which would be around 209.87. So if we do get that 209.87, 15-minute and 30-minute start to turn. But I'm going to go ahead and find. Okay, so that would actually it's indicating that it will. All this is, guys, is a 1 hour time frame retracement for now. So that would indicate here that we're getting about a 3-cent average true range upside and downside from the hourly open, which is 9, 10, 11. That'll be potentially 9. Oh, did we get a bi-hourly close too? Yep, we did. And a 3-hour. Holy crap. Well, there they are. All right. So bi-hourly, sorry. And also a 4-hour. Okay. So 4-hour time frame retrace would be the one to. Let's see, that continued on the downside here. So yeah, that would lift off here 5 cents to the upside, which would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, $2.13. Yeah, it could be completely opposed. We don't have any other close like that, right? No. Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah, yeah, that would be opposed by your $2.11 to 210, right around there. 210 to 211 would be your overall resistance for this before you get a continuation to the downside to then start testing your lower targets. Okay, guys, please remember that these lower targets could be, they may not actually realize today. They may realize over the next 2 days. I'm not saying that they're going to go there now. I'm saying to be ready should they fail. Should price action fail that 206, then those would be the implications for a continuation to the 190 zone. Okay, guys. So as soon as we get down to the 190, that'll be a nice bounce area to get ourselves back into the 206 or 207 to validate resistances for the further downside. Okay, guys. This is getting a little dangerous here, as we are absolutely within the greatest area of demand as we approach it. Right, for XRP. Of course, we still have the areas of 173 to go to, but we need to break down below the 189 in order for us to do that. Okay, guys, but these are generally speaking, these are pretty gigantic areas of demand, and still a bit far away from where we're currently sitting. Still 20 cents. Well, yeah, I guess it's still 20 cents away. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to put out this video here as soon as possible to kind of express some warning and show you guys how the play can work. So remember, immediate short-term time frame bounce could be likely here, right? We could be seeing a relief bounce to validate similar resistances that we did yesterday, maybe into the 222, maybe even a little bit higher, right? But if fears continue to come in, guys, in spite of your NQ futures and all that stuff, then what can we do, right? We're subject to the market's movement. Okay, guys, this is everything fueling what we're talking about. Okay, guys, so please be very careful out there. If you have any questions, please make sure to get in touch with me at your earliest convenience. Okay, guys, thank you so much, everybody. And I think, we'll end it here. Peace out, peace out, peace out. Later, everybody. Goodbye. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever, and ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Oh yeah.